After getting some help from Daryl Jones at Dreadnought Woodshop, I brought the parts home to start putting them together. I had to write myself a note on what to do with the insert so I wouldn't forget. I needed to drill a hole, but I drilled it in steps because I didn't want to split the wood. And there you have it. You can see where the insert will sit on a seat inside the hole. And then it was time to glue it together. So I put the glue on and got ready to spread it around. And these were kind of overkill on the clamps, but it worked. And this was the hardest thing to do because I have plenty of wood screws, but finding a nail was almost a problem. But I found one, and so I started sharpening it on my sandpaper. And there you have it. Now, one of the things is I split this because I was going to run a screw acrossways so that you could take out the screw and replace it. But I broke the head off of the screw to hold it in place, and I ended up getting frustrated. So I decided that it was time to take this piece of walnut and plane it. And it came out absolutely gorgeous. Walnut's one of my favorite woods, next to African mahogany. And I got a box joint when we went on a lollygag to Rockler. So I was teaching myself how to use it. Well, that worked pretty good. The bottom one was a little cattywampus, but the top one was what I used. And then I made that into the fence. And there they are. There's my first box joints. And there's another angle. And of course I sanded that down. And then it was time to clamp it. Oh no, it wasn't time to clamp it. It was time to cut the groove for the bottom of the box, and that's my woodpecker thing. And it worked. Yay! It was a pretty tight fit. Happy. There you go. Now I got to clamp it. And this was a piece of wood that I found, so I cut it into 3 parts so I could have a top. And I cut the edge, I jointed it so it would fit together for gluing it together to make one big piece. And I had run it through the planer already. And you could see that piece was longer than I needed, so at the end it really didn't matter. And I got it put together, and that was water-based spray, poly, that I used. And there's the box. And there's the marking gauge. It was fun to make, and I learned a whole lot of new things.